In our fourth video of Unit 1, we are still looking at order of operations, and it's just going to be a little bit more complex. We can't always look at every single example of a type of problem, but we can spend more time on it and look at more challenging problems. And when we're looking at challenging problems, it's a good idea to have good problem-solving skills, and in this case for our Ignite, some logic puzzles. So what that means is it's like, if not this, then that, and by kind of some deductive reasoning. And so what I want you to do is, by following the directions that you see here, I want you to tell me how old each student is and the month in which they were born in. So in case you're stuck, I'll give you kind of like how I get started on this. So it says Peter's birthday is in April. So now it does say you can use either the horizontal or the vertical setup. So what I'm going to do, I personally like the horizontal method setup, so I'm just going to cross this out. I don't need both. And so crossing this out, it's just there for help. Okay. So if I know Peter's birthday is in April, I'm going to go to Peter's name and we're going to check mark April. So that means that Arnold and Eric cannot be born in April. Okay, so that's kind of how you can use the table to help you. So I'm going to pause again, see if you can't figure out the rest. So then in number 2, it says Eric is 7. So I can go ahead and click on Eric. I know he's 7, so that means that Arnold and Peter cannot be 7. Arnold's birthday is in September, so Arnold, September. So that means that no one else can have September birthdays. And we now know that Arnold obviously can't have 2 birthdays. And that leaves me that Eric is then born in January. Peter is 8. So Peter will have a check mark on 8. So that means nobody else can be 8. And so that tells me that Arnold, because the only box left in Arnold's row, is 9 years old. So now I have all the information I need. Arnold is 9, born in September. Eric is 7, born in January. And Peter is 8, and he was born in April. So let's use our, going back to our order of operations here, let's use our knowledge to solve these 4 problems that we see here. I'll do one, then I want you to try one, and so on. And we only have 2 sets of 2. So it might be helpful anytime you're tackling something with order of operations to write the acronym. I always like to write stuff down. It's less that you have to then hold in your head. So I do see parentheses in the first one, however, was on the inside of them. It cannot be simplified. It's just -3. So here's something that's interesting, right? The whole thing is a fraction, and fractions work as a grouping symbol. And so what I want to do is I want to simplify the top separately, and I'll simplify the bottom. And so let's start with the top. It says 12 plus 7 is 19. 19 minus 1 is 18. And then -3 times 2 I know is -6. So now I have 18. Remember, fractions are division, so 18 divided by -6 gives me -3. So you can see where I don't want to actually do that division or that fraction until I've simplified the top and the bottom, because otherwise I wouldn't know what I'm dividing. So try the next one on your own. See if you can do it without my help. So the first thing I would do is simplify the numerator, and I would start with multiplying the 4 and the 3. That's going to give me 12. So now I could do 25 minus 12, which is 13. And I'm left with then 13 minus 3, which is then 10 for just my numerator. And then I still have that 5 times -2 in the denominator, and that's actually going to give me -10. And now I can simplify that by dividing, and I get -1. So then our last example together, where I'm going to show you step by step before you try on your own, is this one right here, where we've got a lot going on. We've got a big division bar, we've got exponent, we've got a square root symbol. So what do we tackle first? So just like in the other problems, we're going to want to simplify the numerator and then the denominator. So let's start with the numerator. My numerator has an exponent. Let's tackle that. So that's actually 9 plus 4 times 2, then -1. Well, I know 4 times 2 is multiplication, obviously, and we did want to do that next, and that's going to give me 8. And 9 plus 8 is 17, minus 1 is 16. Then I'm going to take care of that square root of 4, which is 2. 16 divided by 2 is 8. So now, try the next one on your own. So just like in the example I did before this one, I tackled the numerator, then the denominator. And this one I have 2 exponents. So it might be helpful. Let's cross them out and evaluate them. This is going to be 49, and this is going to be 16. And now I can go ahead and add and subtract from left to right. So 49 minus 63 is going to give me 33. 33 plus 3 is 36. Then the square root of 36 is going to give me 6. A lot of 6's. And 36 divided by 6 is then 6.